Rishi Sunak is being urged by senior Tories to back off onshore renewable energies rather than oil and gas. We're going to read into this exclusive for my news, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an exclusive for my news with the headline that Rishi Sunak has been urged by senior Tories to back onshore renewable energies rather than oil and gas. Polling has revealed strong support among Conservative voters for wind and solar farms. Interesting that, let's be, first of all, it's a poll, so like anything with a poll, take it with a pinch of salt. It's not a full indication of what all Conservative voters feel, but this gives an open idea that perhaps some Conservative voters are down to the idea of going for renewables such as wind and solar farms. Excuse me. So perhaps maybe this is something that voters will be more likely to vote Conservative. Perhaps those who are more Conservative than Labour, who are more sitting on the fence sort of thing. Would this be the kind of policy that will make the difference between swinging from Labour to Conservatives? I don't think so, but maybe in some places where people are more likely to vote Conservative than Labour, might maybe string some people in the right direction. But whether or not it's what polls will say, from a environmental and climate change point of view, you guys know it makes more sense for us to go for wind and solar farms instead of oil and gas. And we know that the vast majority of renewable oil and gas and the new oil and gas, that we're going to be opening up, it's not even going to go into our coffers anyway. It's going to go going to get exported anyway. So it's not going to make a really difference in terms of the Treasury's coffers, really, is it? So yes, I do believe that we should be pushing for more wind and solar, and why not? It's free energy. It's essentially at the end of the day, and it's not harming the planet. You know, the whole rhetoric that you keep hearing about how it doesn't produce as much power and all this kind of stuff. Like, dude, it's free energy. What are you complaining about? I think one of the arguments I heard from the anti-climate protesters was like, it's killing birds. I think of one of the things that I heard. Okay, there is a possibility that wind farms can unintentionally kill birds, but then again, unintentionally birds have been killed at airports, unfortunately, as well because of airplanes. So that's not to say that it's a good thing. It's a terrible thing, of course. These things happen, but I think Are we gonna stop building wind farms based on that, guys? I don't think so, if I'm honest. So what's going on here? So senior Tories have urged Rishi Sunak to back the onshore renewable energies rather than offshore oil and gas after a poll showed strong support for alternative power sources among Conservative voters. A survey on behalf of the Conservative Environmental Network, the ECN, revealed that 82% of people wanted to see more renewable energy into the UK, including 77% of Tory voters at the 2019 election, and an 81% of who plan to vote for the party next time. In last week's King's Speech, the Prime Minister made a fresh push for new oil and gas licences in the North Sea. Yeah, because that's what we need right now. The government has insisted its expansion is essential to UK's energy security and will not affect its net zero targets, except it will affect net zero targets, and it's none of that energy whatsoever is going anywhere. There's no assurances that expansion is going anywhere into our coffers or going towards the UK at all. But former Cabinet Minister Sir Simon Clarke argued that the poll result shows there was a silent majority in favour of renewables and that backing onshore wind and solar should be at the heart of the Tories' offer to the electorate. The polling for CEN by Public First, which was conducted in 19 consecutive Conservative-held seats, including those where there are existing renewable energy developments. The figures show that 2/3 of the public think that the UK has been too slow to set up new onshore wind and solar farms. I actually agree. Yeah, we have not been growing enough of them, and we need to invest more. That's a given. While 59% of Tory voters would not oppose a wind farm in their own neighbourhood, even if it could be seen from their own window. Interesting. That's an interesting one there. 59% of Tory voters would not oppose a wind farm in their own neighbourhood, even if it could be seen from their own window. That's an interesting one. Interesting to say the least. Excuse me. Still got a slight cough. I'm not as bad as I was before, guys. Voters prefer green energy development over the building of new houses in their local areas. 47% would prefer both options, but when asked to choose, people are 27% more likely to prefer a wind turbine or a solar farm rather than local. More likely to prefer a wind turbine or solar farm than local housing. Interesting. They're more likely to. I still think that we should have. I know it will cost a stupid amount of money, but I just think every single home should have solar panels put on top of it. I really do. I just think, like I know we don't have the money or where it would come from and all that, but I just think just flood all the houses with solar panels. Just put them all on them, or maybe even make it like every new home has to have some kind of solar panels invested in it. Just to really. Just imagine if every single house in the UK, every single home, every single apartment building had solar panels. Think of how much we could knock down the energy prices with it. Be such a difference, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know, I'm dreaming, but it's an idea. I mean, of course, we don't have 24/7 sunlight, of course, we're not Spain, but I still think it would make a massive difference. In the long term, because we're thinking long term here, guys. We're not just thinking short term, but we're thinking long term. So that's why I'm thinking from that perspective too. But yes, of course, money. Yeah, I understand. Some 69% of the 2019 Tory voters who will continue to support Mr Sunak's party at the next election, expected in 2024, believe the rollout of renewable energy in the UK has been too slow. So they're saying they're still going to vote Tory even though they've been slow on the rollout of it. Even though him and his party has caused immense damage to the country, just saying. The 19 constituencies were selected for the survey as they were expected to show local opposition such as development, but just 9% of people in those seats had taken part in the campaign to oppose renewable development in their area. So Simon said the ongoing war in Ukraine and the crisis in the Middle East made the focus on energy security even more important. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see how the crisis in Gaza affects the energy security. I know that it was affecting the war in Ukraine, I know that, but if anyone can explain how that affects us, let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe I'm missing something there, just saying. He added that renewable energies will simultaneously protect British households from volatile fossil fuel markets and give us a much needed economic boost. If we doubled our onshore wind capacity, we would generate £45 billion of economic activity and help create 27,000 jobs. See, this is the thing, creating jobs as well. I'm missing a key point there. More wind farms, more solar farms, if you're not building them on houses, that creates jobs. Just like HS2 that we were going to expand, except we decided to not do with the full expansion and all those potential jobs and economic growth has been reversed. Yeah. Our solar industry could be just as ludicrous. My words are not well today. Potentially offering 70 billion to our economy. 70 billion! Potentially. As the cheapest forms of new energy, they will mitigate rising energy costs while weaning us off unreliable foreign imports. While there remains an understandable nervousness among Tory MPs about how renewable energy projects, the polling shows how the politics on the issue had now changed, and they were an electoral asset to the party. Sir Simon, a former Levelling Up secretary, added, "Just as I argue strongly that we can't win elections opposing new homes for the next generation, so too that we can't win by opposing cheap, clean, renewable energy schemes. It's the wrong approach economically and environmentally as well as electronically. With the next election looming, we need to offer a positive vision for the future. Successive Conservative governments have enabled the development of the 5 biggest offshore wind farms in the world and the best decarbonisation record in the G7. We should point out these achievements with pride. We have to show the electorate not only we have delivered action on climate change, but we have a plan to finish the job. Let's not be afraid to make renewable core to the offer." The first public survey of 1,060 people between the 16th and the 24th of August 2023, just for the record there, guys. No, don't get me wrong. You guys have built some wind farms, and you know nobody's going to. I'm not going to dispute that, and I commend the Conservative government for that. However, it's not been enough. The reality is it's not been enough. They've not invested enough in it, and you know the whole austerity thing has overshadowed everything for me. Um, and we need to be investing. You know, we need to be investing in this country, and we're not. And I just this whole idea of gas and oil, and it's just like we don't need more gas and oil. Yeah, and there's this concern about, you know, we're going to need it for the future. It's like, are there signs that we are going to run out right now? Are there actual signs we're about to run out in the north? Mind you, do we even take it? No. I mean, it doesn't even go to Scotland. Like, so I just don't see the logic behind going towards it. To me, it just comes across to me, and I'm sure you guys know, most of you guys know in the comments anyway, but it only benefits foreign businesses. You know, the likes of BP, Shell, those oil companies that just make profits off the business. I don't see it benefiting us at all. So yes, I do believe in renewable energy, and yes, we should be pushing for more wind and solar power farms. And I'd like to think that they will listen to these Conservative voters, but it is only one poll and just over 1,000 people voting in it. Will it make a difference in terms of his policy? I don't think so, but who knows? But what do you guys think? Do you think it will sway some voters? Do you think maybe this will make a difference? I don't think it will. I think people are more concerned about the cost of living crisis in the NHS, for example. But maybe some of you guys may disagree with me in the comments section. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button, be greatly appreciated. Share across social media, and hit the bell notification icon so you'll be notified of when I upload a video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.